Can anybody name one square inch on the planet where communism has done anyone any good anywhere? Now, I'm not talking about just the tiny ruling elites, but I'm talking about for the people themselves. It doesn't exist. How then do the communists continue to manage to create new recruits? Well, a story out of California helps explain one strategy. The Free Press for Free People reports that a group called Californians for Justice has been exposed where they've been paying 100 public high school students $1,400 each so they can learn how to, quote, unquote, fight for racial and social justice. To get an idea where California for Justice stands on the issues, consider this. We all know about the brutal October 7th Hamas attack against some 1,200 Israeli men, women, and children in the Gaza area. And yet Californians for Justice described Israel, the victim, as being guilty of, quote, ethnic cleansing and apartheid orchestrated by white supremacist settler colonialism bent on the goal of wiping out the indigenous Palestinian population, end quote. Dividing the world into the supposed oppressors, in this case Israelis, and the oppressed, in this case Hamas, is Marxism at work. And of course, they use different categories to divide the oppressor and the oppressed, supposedly. But in the 20th century alone, the communists have killed more than 100 million human beings, usually their own countrymen, in the attempt to force Marxism on the people. America's founders, in contrast, showed a much better way to promote lasting good in the world. You begin with the foundational truth that our rights come from God, not the state. And then, building on that clear structure, because of man's inherent sinful nature, you divide power so that no one man or small group can seize all the power for themselves. As James Madison, a key architect of the Constitution, summed up well, all men having power ought to be distrusted. If only more young people could learn the lessons of history and resist the temptation of intellectual bribery before it's too late. For Coral Ridge Ministries, I'm Dr. Jerry Newcombe.